Hi my dear students, very good evening. Welcome back to my class. Students, today I am going to explain about animal husbandry. So, students, our main topic is improvement in food resources. In the previous class, I have explained you what is the importance of the food for the every living organism, in what way we are getting the food resources, and in what way we are meeting the demands of food resources. Everything we discussed, and we have seen crop improvement managements, crop protection managements, and crop maintenance managements. Everything we have discussed in the previous class, and what are the ways we can implement to get the good yield. Everything we discussed. And the second important topic of this lesson is animal husbandry. So students, organisms were classified into three categories basing on their food habitats. The first type is, students, the first type is herbivores, right? The first one is, students, herbivores. Simply herbivores means, students, the organisms which will eat only plant and its products, right? And carnivores, the plants which will eat only animal products, understand? And omnivores, the plant which will prefer to eat both the type of food materials from the plant as well as the animal resources. So, basing on their food habitats, all the organisms were classified into three basic types: herbivores, carnivores, and let us see. So, now we need to concentrate on the animal husbandry also. We need to concentrate on the improvement of yield in the animal field also. So, let us see, students. Like, first, let me define the animal husbandry. Animal husbandry is scientific management of animal livestock, including their feeding, breeding, and disease control. See, students, in the ancient days, our ancestor and the ancient man used to eat the live animals. Simply, they used to hunt the animal, they used to eat the raw meat. So later on, they are going to habituate it with the cooked meat. So afterwards, what they thought, of course, we need to depend upon the both the type of sources, such as plant resources, at the same time animal resources. Plant resources, by practicing agriculture, by improving croplands, all he focused on the cropping and agriculture. So on other hand, he used to rear the animals like cattle, horses, dogs, and all. So, and there are some type of animals used for the so many purposes other than the food. Generally, we use for of meat from the cattle, sheep, goat, and all, but there are different types of organisms. They'll be utilized for the so many activities. So because of multiple reason, man rear the all the different types of animals. Okay, so they were the animals which were reared well, they are domestic animals. Which are not well, they are the wild animals. Now let us discuss about the animal husbandry. Animal husbandry is the scientific management of animal livestock, including taking care of the animals, about their feeding, breeding, and disease control. Animal farming includes, students, cattle, sheep, goat, and cattle, sheep, goat, poultry, and fish farming. First, let us discuss about, students, animal husbandry. It is one of the branch of agriculture that deals with the feeding, caring, breeding of domestic animals is called animal husbandry, taking care of the animals, about their feeding, about their maintenance, everything. So that is nothing but the animal husbandry. Husbanding means use a resource carefully without waste. See, the word husbandry means husband, one who takes care. Okay, thus animal farming or animal husbandry requires planning for domestic animals, shelter, breeding, health, diseases control, and proper economic utilization. Our domestic animals or livestock include those animals which are raised for farming, etc. Cattle. Cattle means bull, oxes, and cattle, like cows and all. Buffaloes, ack, horse, ass, goat, sheep, camel, etc. All these are the reared animals. As the population increases and as the living standards increases, the demand of the milk, egg, meat is also increasing. Students, as the population increases, the demand for the food also increasing. Right? Of course, on one side we are using the new methods to improve the crop yield. In the same way, in this side also we are facing so many challenges, and the need of eggs, meat and all, everything is increasing as the population increases. So growing awareness of need for humane treatment of livestock has brought in the limitation in livestock farming. Thus livestock production also need to be improved. So along with the agriculture crop improvement, in the same way we need to take care about the livestock production also. Right? Milk giving animals. So animals were classified into so many ways. Like first one is milk giving animals, cows, buffaloes, goats. Right? Meat and egg giving animals are pigs, cattle, hens, fowl, ducks and all. So working animals means they'll help a human for so many activities, like bullocks and buffaloes, camel, horses, or draft animals, mules, army. See, buffaloes and the bullocks they'll be used for the ploughing. Farmer used to use this cattle for the ploughing and the soil and all. And the camel and the horses they can carry the weights, and they'll be useful for the transportation purpose also. And mules, they'll be using the army soldiers for loads or luggage in the hilly regions. So in this way, for the multiple purpose, here the ancient man reared the so many animals. So the animals which were reared well, those are domestic. Which are not reared well, they are the wild animals. Right? So for so many purposes, milk giving animals are cows, buffaloes and the goats, and meat and egg giving animals are like hens, sheep and all. Working animals, bulls, buffaloes, camel, horses, all these are the organisms, the animals which will use the man in so many ways. Let's start milk production. First, let us discuss about the milk production. Milk production depends upon the lactation period. So students, let me explain what you mean by lactation period. Right. Now here, see, lactation period is the period of milk production between birth to the next pregnancy, and it is usually last about 300 days. So when a cow gave birth to a baby, so from that stage to the till the next stage, then till it acquires the next pregnancy, this particular duration or period is known as lactation period. Now see students, that the milk production capability of a cow depends upon its lactation period. Here, like the period of milk production after the birth, the period of milk production after the birth of the calf, milk production can be increased by increasing the lactation period. So the milk production can be increased by increasing the lactation period. Foreign breeders like Jersey and Brown Swiss, these are the foreign breeds, have long lactation period, and local breeds like Red Sindhi and Sahiwal are resistant to the diseases. they can be crossbreed to get animal with the both the qualities. Here the foreign breeds like Jersey and brown Swiss, they'll be having the more lactation period, with Desi breeds such as Sahiwal and Sindhi, they'll be having they're having the more resistant power against the diseases. So by crossbreeding these two different types of cattle, we can get a good cattle with a good fine characteristics, right? So cattle shuttles should be clean and well ventilated with sloping floors for easy cleaning. Now see students, in the milk only we are going to have different types of milk products. Okay, cream, how we'll get a cream? By churning the milk. Fat comes on top of the milk, so that will be separated by draining. So this particular thing is having the 10 to 70% of fat content. Now next, curd. Curd is here the milk is converted into the curd by adding some bacteria. So generally Estrobacter is one of the bacteria, so it will be added to the milk. So even in the following day it may convert into the curd. And buttermilk, the leftover liquid after the removal of the butter is buttermilk, and the ghee after eating the butter, so we'll get a good color and the good fragmented fat content, that is nothing but the ghee. This is having the 100% of the fat. Why I'm telling all these things, students? We are getting so many different products from the milk like ice creams, paneer and all. So now and then people are using all these milk products. Okay, so there is a demand. The demand is there for all the milk and milk products. Now see students, and in order to maintain a proper animal husbandry, we need to take care about the right shelter. It should be clean, well ventilated with sloping floors for easy cleaning and all. Cattle feed should be including roughage containing mainly fibers and concentrates containing proteins and other nutrients. Students, like we only, how the human requires balanced diet for the healthy survival and all, in the same way cattle also do require some healthy requirements or nutrients. You know what you mean by the nutrients? Our food consists of so many essential factors such as nutrients. Out of this, carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, and the last one is the minerals. All these are the essential for the well-being of every living creature. So we need to provide good food for the cattle, right? Fodder. And cattle feed should include roughage containing mainly fiber and concentrates containing proteins and other nutrients. So first of all, roughage, it contains so much of the fiber, and concentrates, it contain good protein and other nutrients. Cattle diseases caused by the parasites, bacteria and the virus. External parasites cause skin diseases, and internal parasites cause worms affect, so they'll be causing stomach and intestinal infections. Flukes damage the liver. Vaccinations are given to the protect from the viral and bacterial diseases. Now and then, so these veterinary doctors are giving the vaccination to the so many cows and the buffaloes, so in order to protect them from dangerous and dreadful diseases, right? So these are the, now let us discuss about breed, right? See, these are the different Desi cattle like Sahiwal, Gir and Red Sindhi. These are the originated in India. Okay, Desi cattle, Sahiwal and Gir. Sahiwal, this is Gir, and this one is Red Sindhi. These are the Desi varieties. And the next one is I just now explained about the lactation period, students. Now these are the different types of cattle like Ongol, Sindhi, Haryana, Gir, Baragar. All these are different types. Sahiwal. These are the foreign breeds like brown Swiss. It is the one of the good foreign breed, that is brown Swiss, and this one is the Holstein, and this is the Jersey. These two are having the good lactation period. And previous Indian varieties, they are having the disease resistant varieties. These are the disease resistant varieties. They are having the good immunity power, so that they are having the more resistant power against the diseases, right? Now see, improved breeds are currant Swiss and the currant Frise. These are the improved breeds. Now let us discuss about the natural methods of breeding. Okay, inbreeding and outbreeding. So breeding between the animals of same breed is called what is that, students? Inbreeding. So breeding between the animals of same breed, that is inbreeding. So if the breeding is between the animals of different breeds is called outer breeding. Natural breeding methods are two types generally what we'll follow: inbreeding and outbreeding. If the breeding is between the two different animals of same breed is called inbreed, and so if it is between the two animals of different breeds is called outbreeding. Right. Now first let us discuss about the outcrossing. What do you mean by outcrossing? If the mating of animals occurs within the same breed, they have no common ancestry up to 4 to 5 generations. Very important point. They last this number of generations, up to what generation they won't have the common ancestor. They'll be asking the question. So outcrossing means here the animals were so mating of animals occurs within the same breed. They have no common ancestor, right? Crossbreeding, mating of animals between the different breeds of same species. Between the breeds of same species produce hybrid and interspecific hybrid. It is mating between the two different species. It is the interspecific, and this one is the crossbreeding. So as a result of crossbreeding, we are going to get the hybrids over there. Interspecific hybrid means it is a mating between the two different species, right? Introduction. First, let us discuss about the artificial. So far in the previous slides, I have discussed you about natural breeding. Now, artificial breeding. First, let me discuss what you mean by artificial breeding. So, it is also called as selective breeding or artificial selection. The other name of it is, students, it is the artificial breeding. Artificial breeding, right? So it is also known as selective breeding, and is the process by which humans breed other animals for the particular trait. Here humans select the animals basing on their trait. For example, there are two different animals are there, animal A and animal B. A is having the two good characters, whereas B is having the other single character. So I want both three characters in one single animal. So I want to cross between the two different things, that as a result we'll get a hybrid. So in the artificial breeding, let me discuss. Typically strains that are selectively breeds are domesticated, and breeding is normally done by the professional breeders only. Bred animals are known as breeds. The offspring of two breed animals but different breeds is called crossbreed. Jersey, Angus, Holstein, Brahman are the crossbreeds only. What are those, students? Examples: Jersey, Angus, Holstein, Brahman. Right? Now let us discuss about artificial. This artificial breeding can be brought about by so many ways. Out of that, first way is artificial insemination. So students, in the artificial insemination, so the second most common practice of breeding of livestock, only it is alternate to the breeding. So here the semen from high quality of pedigreed bull is selected and cows are artificially inseminated. Here the semen from the high quality pedigreed bull is collected, it is going to be transferred artificially to the cow. There are several mechanical devices to introduce sperm in the vaginal tract of the cow. See, so by using so many ways, they'll introduce the semen into the cow's vaginal tract of the cow, and the semen collected from the bulls usually kept at the frozen temperature. It is at minus 196 degrees temperature. That frozen condition is minus 196 degrees temperature. So here at this temperatures only semen will be preserved. Okay, semen is preserved, and it is kept frozen at the temperature up to minus 196 degrees centigrades in liquid nitrogen. At the appropriate time, it is brought to normal temperature and used for insemination. See students, at the appropriate time, so they need to maintain the timings, appropriate timings only they should go for all these things. At appropriate time is brought to be normal temperature, used for insemination. This is the artificial insemination students, and let us see the advantages of it. The availability of proven sites are better. So limit risk of female getting STDs from the used site, and ability to use sexed semen to increase the chance of getting offspring, that is either male or female depending on the type of the stock. Limits the need to house and feed a male, since all you need is frozen semen. Synchronization using the hormones enable to herd the female to be AID all 1 or 2 days. Livestock of good genetic stock that otherwise could not breed due to the behavior or anatomical or physiological factors can have their genetic material reproduce and pass on their good genes. So this is about the artificial insemination students. Now let us see the second type, that is MOET. MOET, multiple ovulation embryo transfer. M for multiple ovulation embryo transfer. This is MOET. Here in this method, 2 steps are there. Cow is administered hormones like follicle stimulating hormone. See, here the cow is injected with the hormone like follicle stimulating hormone, FSH. What is that students? Follicle stimulating or stimulated hormone. Okay, and to introduce follicular maturation and superovulation. For what they are injecting this? To introduce follicular maturation and ovulation. That is nothing but superovulation. What is that, children? Superovulation. So that is production of 6 to 8 ova in one cycle. What do you mean by superovulation, students? Production of 6 to 8 ova in one cycle. Generally, for one time they will be releasing 1 or 2, but due to the superovulation, what will happen? Cow is able to produce 6 to 8 ova in one cycle. The cow is mated with the selected bull or artificially inseminated. At this stage, cow is going to mate with the bull artificially or naturally. So this is about the multiple ovulation embryo transfer. Just see the picture, students. Sperm is taken from the bull from high yield dairy, and so this is the bull and this one is the cow, and so sperms is taken from the bull, and it is the cow is here, and it is artificial embryos are split into several smaller embryos, each of which can grow into the new calf. Zygote develop into embryo in cow and then removed from the uterus. So embryo, they'll be removed from the uterus and they'll be forming n number embryos are placed in the uterus of the faster mother, then they'll be giving this. Okay, right. Next, forms management and practices. What, let us discuss. See, the first one is, see, form management is not a easy task, so it is a very hard task. We need to take care about each and every minute factor. If you're careless any point means, so we need to face much loss in the future. So first we need to concentrate on the feeding aspects. So we need to provide the good balanced food for the cattle. So concentrated food as well as the food we should have the roughage. Roughage means fibrous substances. So the feed, the fodder which we are going to provide to the cattle should consist of concentrated food. Means concentrated food means it should have the good levels of the protein and other nutrients also, and it should have the roughages also. Roughages means fiber like substances. These two are the essential things for the fodder. Next, housing. Housing is shelter, taking care of the shelter and the roofs. So we need to concentrate on the cleanliness of the particular house, each and every aspect. So they used to be spoiled every time. We need to collect their excretory materials time to time. We need to provide the good quality of the water, food, everything. So and frequently we need to going for the cleaning of the shed and all. Otherwise, so if you'll keep the premises so dirty, obviously they may infected with so many diseases and all. And next, grooming. Cattle must be groomed regularly. So cutting off their excess hair, that is nothing but the grooming. So it is very good task and very important task. Okay, so if you allow the grooms without any cutting means what will happen? It may fall to the some viral or bacterial infections. Obviously, they'll be as a result our cattle's health also spoils. And one more important point, students. So before taking the milk, we should wash the particular cattle every time, minimum once daily. So with the good water and all. So then only we have to take the we have to take the milk from the cattle. And next, health care, very important, students. There's always a chance of falling viral infections, bacterial infections, fungal infections also. So we have to be so much care regarding the health care of the our cattle. So time to time we need to vaccinate the cattle to avoid the so much to avoid a lot of problems. So students, in today's class I have explained about the cattle farming and all. In the next class I'm going to explain the poultry and all. So students, let me give the revision of this animal husbandry. Here I want to explain about once again the artificial insemination. In the artificial insemination, second most common practice of breeding, actually this one. So semen from the high quality of bull is collected here. So the good characteristics, with the great characteristics, it is to be chosen. So from this we have to collect the semen, and that cows are artificially, so that whatever sperm is collected from the bull, it is artificially introduced into the cow's vaginal tract, and it should be conducted by the experts only. And there are several mechanical devices to introduce the sperm in the vaginal tract of cows. So there are many devices are there to introduce the sperm into the vaginal tract of our cow. Semen collected from bulls is usually kept. One more important point, whatever semen is collected from the bull, actually generally it is going to be collected from the foreign breeds, right? So and it should be stored at the temperature of minus 190 degrees centigrade temperature. At this temperature only it will be lively and it will be good condition. And the semen collected from the bulls is usually kept frozen at temperature up to minus 190 degrees centigrade temperature in the liquid nitrogen. One more important point, students, where we have to store, what we have to store, we have to store in the liquid nitrogen. Liquid nitrogen. And at the appropriate time it is brought to be normal temperature and used for the insemination. Whenever you want to use, so it need to be brought to the normal temperature, then used for the artificial insemination. So I hope you all understood the animal husbandry, and in this class I have explained about the cattle farming. In the next class, students, I would like to explain about the poultry farming, everything and all. As a time up, I can't continue. Until that, thank you all. Thank you so much.